Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Hector Rivas, and in today's lesson, we're going to talk about another inspirational artist. This is also a Disney animator. His name is Eric Goldberg. He's been with the company for a very long time, and he has worked on many animations, including Aladdin, a lot of animations that you have seen. Now, I'll let him talk about it, but I wanted to tell you that I want you to pay special attention not to just what he says, but his animation environment and what inspires him. Because as you progress in your own career, these are the type of things that you are looking for yourself. You know, what inspires you to create artwork? What kind of art are you attracted to? What kind of target audience would you like to address? You know, is it more of an adult, like Adult Swim type? Or is it more like Disney-esque? Or is it more like even biblical, right? Like, what's it called? VeggieTales type of animation? Like, there's a little bit of, there's room for everybody. There's people who can do animation just for commercials. In fact, Eric Goldberg, that's where he started. He created animations for commercials that sold products and services or explained things. And he started his own studio, and then eventually he was like, I don't want to do this for all my life, and he started asking or applying for Disney programs. So I'll have him talk about it. And let me play that video for you. It looks like this.
I'm one of the guys who gets to draw Mickey. I take pride in the fact that the studio trusts me enough. It's kind of like being handed the keys to the castle. I remember the first time that I drew Mickey in a public forum. Roy Disney, Walt's nephew, was with us. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'd better not screw this up. When I was very young, the first Disney movie I saw was Dumbo. I was just absolutely struck by how wonderful animation looked and made me feel. It's life pushed. It's making something larger than life. I was a very focused kid, you know, knowing at a very early age what I wanted to do. I've named my key positions.
Okay, so I want you to pay special attention to this. What he's doing right now is called flipping. Where he draws a character art in a certain pose, and then he has another sheet of paper on top of it while he's at the light table. So it becomes transparent. We call this onion skinning. And so what you do here is you do your key poses first. And key poses are poses that capture the moment at still frames almost. Like there's always a pause in movement. And so that becomes a key frame. The in-betweens is what happens in between those drawings. So that's what he's doing here. It's flipping.
And now I'm putting the positions in between to help flesh out the movement. When I started making my Super 8 films, my parents would willingly give over the dining room table, and I would lay out all my cells, drawing, you know, and the living room would become where I would shoot the stuff on my down shooter. Put a new sheet of paper down. I never thought that I'd be good enough to work at Disney. Back in 1974, I applied to their training program. And the response was, well, you didn't make it, Eric. You're not good enough. In the late 80s in London, I was running my own animation studio. It was a very successful commercials company, but I was getting very stressed out working on commercials. I go to an animation festival in Los Angeles bringing my reel. And there were a couple of Disney guys there. One was Charlie Fink. He just kept calling me once a month. You want to jump ship yet? Huh? You want to join Disney's yet? Huh? Charlie finally dropped the bombshell. He said, they're thinking of doing this film, Aladdin, and they're thinking of getting Robin Williams. I just thought, okay, if I don't do this now, I'm going to miss the crest of a wave. My first week at Disney, and I'm starting to draw developmental sketches of the genie. And here we are. If you look at Mickey, he's got this organic way of being drawn where one line leads to the next. Same thing with the genie, you know.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there because we got a preview of his working space. So let's look at his office for a second. He walks in here.
Organic way of, if you look at Mickey, developmental sketches of the genie.
Okay, so he's walking into his office, and you see on the right-hand side, he has a light table, and he has his drawings and information that he needs to do his drawings. But on the left-hand side, he has his digital components, or where he creates his digital art, and you're gonna see one of the main tools is the Cintiq.
And here we are. If you look at, you've got all these lines that kind of add up to something whole. So I started doing Robin Williams-esque genies in my designs. John Aron said, why don't you take a couple of Robin's bits off his comedy records and animate a genie to them.
But first, before we do the play, I'd like to talk about the very serious subject of schizophrenia. No, he doesn't. Shut up, let him talk!
And I have to say, it's one of the great joys of my life to have made Robin Williams laugh.
Why? 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
I was in the right place at the right time. Animation all of a sudden is hip again. Aladdin was getting towards that peak of what people call the Renaissance. Welcome to my wall. The Shanghai assignment was great. They wanted to decorate a restaurant in Shanghai, Disneyland, a la Hirschfeld/Sardi's. I even got to do modern characters like Anna and Elsa. Whenever I have to draw characters from the Disney canon, I always feel all those people who created those characters looking over my shoulder saying, do it right. Often they would straddle two drawings like this with Gaston and LeFou. Every one of these movies has a theme, and they're universal. How many people of our generation grew up dealing with death because they saw Bambi's mother die? In Pinocchio, it's always let your conscience be your guide. In the case of Aladdin, the theme was be yourself. And even though, yes, they do deal with serious subjects, you always walk out of a Disney film delighted and feeling like, yeah, that was great. I think I'm going to see it again.
Okay, so that is Eric Goldberg, and it's good to be able to see inspirational videos like this and behind the scenes. I encourage you to look at different people in different positions behind the scenes so you can get an idea of what it takes to create that kind of follow that profession. Well, this was Eric Goldberg. I hope you were able to learn, and I hope you were inspired, and keep on drawing and keep creating artwork. Thank you for watching.